Hello everyone, welcome to the Planeswalker Pantheon. Today, we are opening up a box of collector boosters from the latest Magic the Gathering set, March of the Machine, the Aftermath. What happens after the March of the Machine, the war of humanity, and the worlds of magic as we know it, and the Phyrexians? This is what happened after the last war. Anyways, let's get into it, shall we? Again, gonna be a nice brief video. Once I can get the package open, that'd be kind of amazing. There we go. Sometimes you just gotta use your teeth. Also, I gotta say, love this artwork. By the way, cool artwork. But let's get in short. We've got our mini packs of March of the Machine Aftermath. Let's get in. First one. Of course, everything is gorgeous and in foil. So we have Blot Out. Oh, it's a holo foil, so you continue the holo foiling. Death Rattle Oni in an etched foil. And first up we have Jor-El, Voice of Zalfir, 2 green and a blue, legendary creature, human druid, 3/3. At the beginning of combat on your turn, up to one target land you control becomes an XX green and blue bird creature with flying and haste until end of turn. Where X is the number of cards in your hand, it's still a land. Whenever a land creature you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. And then we have an extended art Tyvar the Bellicose. 2 black and green, legendary creature, Elf Warrior, 5/4. Whenever one or more elves you control attack, they gain Death Touch until end of turn. Each creature you control has, whenever a mana ability of this creature resolves, put a number of +1/+1 counters on it equal to the amount of mana this creature produced. This ability triggers only once each turn. And we have an Alt Art Foil Plague and Narisi. 3 in double red, legendary creature, Orc Efreet, 5/4. At the beginning of your upkeep, each player exiles the top card of their library until they exile a non-land card. An opponent chooses a non-land card exiled this way. You may cast up to 2 spells from among the other cards exiled this way without paying their mana cost. And we have another etched foil in Spark Rupture. 2 and a white enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, draw a card. Each planeswalker with 1 or more loyalty counters on it loses all abilities and is a creature with power and toughness each equal to the number of loyalty counters on it. Alright, so etched foil, holo, etched, normal foil, extended art, alt art foil, I think is the way to go. And we have our token. We will shift some of these up so they're a bit better in frame. One day I'll consider investing in a mat that is actually marked perfectly for this, but today is not that day. I am not a fan of this new packaging for the collector's boosters. They're so hard to open sometimes. I've got little tiny fingers. This doesn't rip as cleanly. We have you know what? Uncommons, rares, uncommons. You know what? So let's do uncommons and rares. Just like we did last time. And it's all going to be foils and pretties. Feast of the Victorious Dead. Cosmic Rebirth in etched. Rocco Street Chef, red, green, and white legendary creature, Elf Druid 2/4. At the beginning of your end step, each player exiles the top card of their library. Until your next end step, each player may play the card they exiled this way. Whenever a player plays a land from exile or casts a spell from exile, you put a +1/+1 counter on target creature and create a food token. Nice. We have an extended art, Nashi's Moon's Legacy, black, green, and blue, legendary creature, Rat Shaman, Menace, Ward 1, 3/4. When it attacks, exile up to one target legendary or rat card from your graveyard and copy it, you may cast the copy. Ooh, and an alt art, Niv Mizzet Supreme in foil. The full Wurberg for legendary creature Dragon Avatar, 5/5 flying hexproof and monocolored. Each instant sorcery card in your graveyard that's exactly 2 colors has Jumpstart. And an etched foil, the Kenrith's Royal Funeral. 2 white and black legendary enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, exile up to 2 target legendary creature cards from your graveyard. You draw X cards and you lose X life, where X is the greatest mana value among cards exiled this way. Legendary spells you cast cost 1 less to cast for each card exiled with the Kenneth's Royal Funeral. And our token. Next one up. Coppercoat Vanguard, Undercity Upheaval, Metropolis Reformer, 2 and a white creature, Angel Cleric, 2/3, flying vigilance, you have hexproof. When it's dealt damage, you gain that much life. Draneth Ruins, it's a land, tap, sad, colorless, 2 and tap, put 2 +1/+1 counters on target non-human creature that entered the battlefield this turn. Ooh, and an alt art foil, Tranquil Frillback, 2 and a green, creature dinosaur, 3/3. When it enters the battlefield, may pay green up to 3 times. Whenever you pay this cost 1 or more times, you choose up to that many. Destroy target artifact or enchantment, exile target player's graveyard, or you gain 4 life. And an etched foil, Deification, 1 and a white enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, choose a planeswalker type. Planeswalkers you control have the chosen type and have planeswalkers you control of the chosen type have hexproof. As long as you control a creature, if damage dealt to a planeswalker you control of the chosen type, it would result in all loyalty counters being removed. Instead, remove all but one of those counters instead, and an elemental. Created from Multiverse Legends. Next one up. First up, Goldforged Thopteryx, Harnessed Snubhorn, Spark Rupture, 2 and a white enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, draw a card. Each planeswalker with 1 or more loyalty counters on it loses all abilities and is a creature with power and toughness each equal to the number of loyalty counters on it. And we have an extended art Metropolis Reformer. Ooh, and an old border Jor-El, Voice of Zalfir. This is real pretty looking. And an etched foil, Open the Way. X and 2 green. X can't be greater than the number of players in the game. Reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal X land cards. Put those lands onto the battlefield tapped, and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. And a soldier. I thought these were double-sided tokens. Whoops. Ah, well. You guys don't necessarily care about the tokens because you saw them if you watched my collector's box video for Much of the Machines. Little plug there. And of course, that pack opened real quick. We have a Blot Out, Reckless Handling, Narset Enlightened Exile in foil, 1 and a blue and a red and a white, legendary creature, human monk, 3/4, creatures you control have prowess. Whenever Narset attacks, exile target non-creature, non-land card with mana value less than Narset's power from a graveyard and copy it. You may cast the copy without paying its mana cost. Ooh, and we have an extended art Training Grounds. I won't lie, when I saw this, I was happy to see the reprint. I got lucky in opening a random pack, I think it was of Zendikar, and opening this card and not realizing how good it was. Sing blue from enchantment, activated abilities, creatures you control cost 2 less to activate. This effect can't reduce the mana in that cost to less than 1. Ooh, and we have a holo foil Sarkhan Soul of Flame. 2 blue and a red legendary creature human shaman. 2/4 dragon spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Whenever a dragon enters the battlefield under your control, you may have Sarkhan become a copy of it until end of turn, except its name is Sarkhan Soul of Flame, and it's legendary in addition to its other types. So it's a dragon Shakasima. And an Etchfoil Tyva the Bellicose. Elemental dinosaur in that one. Not that you guys really care, but hey, you never know. There might be someone out there who cares about what the other side of those tokens are. I hate having to wrench these packs open. Got Filter Out. Campus Restoration in Etched. Deification in normal foil, which we opened to talk about already. Danathar New Benalia's Light. 1 green and white legendary creature, human knight 2/2, vigilance, trample, lifelink. Once during each of your turns, you may cast an aura equipment spell from your graveyard. Ooh, and a alt art Nashi's Moon Legacy right there. I like the Kamigawa artwork personally a fair bit. And an etched foil Draneth Ruins and an Incubator. Next one up. Alright. Ooh, holofoil Harnessed Snubhorn. Etchfoil Markov Baron. Tranquil Frillback, which we read earlier, but this is the first time I've opened a normal copy of it. And an extended art, because why not? We have, a normal foil Narset Enlightened Exile. And, a pretty etched foil of Arya's Oathsworn. So, 1 in a black creature, human knight, 2/2 menace. When it deals combat damage to a player, if it has fewer than 4 +1/+1 counters on it, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Then, if it has exactly 4, search your library for a card and put it into your hand and then shuffle. And a warrior. Because the other reason why I like alt arts, besides the fact a lot of them look absolutely incredible, because people want to chase these, it loses the price of all of the normal copies. Animus Might in its alt frame, Filter Out in its etched foil, Draneth Ruins in normal foil, Nahiri Forged in Fury in foil full extended art. 4 red and white legendary creature core artifice of 5/4 affinity for equipment. When equipped creature you control attacks, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. You may cast equipment spells this way without paying their mana cost. And a Vesuvian Drifter. 2 in a blue creature shapeshifter 2/4. You may look at the top card of your library at any time. At the beginning of each combat, you may reveal the top card of your library. If you reveal a creature card this way, it becomes a copy of that card until end of turn, except it has flying. And an etched foil Nahiri's Resolve. 3 red and white creatures you control get +1/+0 and have haste. At the beginning of your end step, exile any number of non-token artifacts and or creatures you control. Return those cards to the battlefield under their owner's control at the beginning of your next upkeep. Incubator. Next one up. Colgan Warmonger. Feast of the Victorious Dead. Arnie Metalbrow. 2 and a red legendary creature, human berserker 3/3. Whenever a creature you control attacks or a creature enters the battlefield under your control attacking, you may pay 1 and a red. If you do, you may put a creature card with mana value less than that creature's mana value from your hand onto the battlefield tapped and attacking. Obnixilis Captive Kingpin. 2 black and red legendary creature demon 4/3 flying and trample. Whenever 1 or more opponents each lose exactly 1 life, put a +1/+1 counter on Obnixilis. Exile the top card of your library. Until your next end step, you may play that card. Danitha New Benalia's Light, and an Etched Foil Tranquil Thrillback. Went from having no copies of that card to probably having a playset now. Come on. We've got a Death Rattle Oni, Animus Might, a foil Obnixilis Captive Kingpin, Extended Art Plug and Narcy. I believe I've read this card before, but just in case. 3 and 2 red, legendary creature, Ogre of Fruit, 5/4. At the beginning of your upkeep, each player exiles cards from the top of their library until they exile a non-land card. An opponent chooses a non-land card exiled this way. You may cast up to 2 spells from among the other cards exiled this way without paying their mana cost. Ooh, and an alt art foil deification. That looks real pretty with the Elspeth art. Nice. And Etched Foil Somewhat Vizier of Nactaman. 1 red and green legendary creature, warrior human warrior cleric, 2/3. First strike, vigilance, and haste. When a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, if that creature entered the battlefield this turn, draw a card. And we have a treasure and a kraken. Next on up. Got a Cosmic Rebirth, Blot Out, Nahiri Forged in Fury in normal foil, Rocco Street Chef in extended art foil, Arya's Oaths. Oh, this is real pretty in the holo art as holo alt art. I've got so many choices now of what version I want to put in my commander deck. And we have an Etched Foil Plug and Narcy and Incubator. Alright, last pack. Whoop. Getting a little fresh there, Beck. Getting a little fresh there. But, it's the last pack. I don't want to open a card. I think it's the only one that I haven't hit. But hey, it's alright. Snubhorn, Gold Forged Thopteryx in Etched Foil, Tazri Stalwart Survivor, 2 and a white, legendary creature, human warrior, 3/3. Each creature control has tap, add 1 mana of any of this creature's colors, spend this mana only to activate an ability of a creature. Activate only if this creature has another activated ability. For Woodberg, tap, mill 5 cards, put all creature cards with activated abilities that aren't mana abilities from among the milled cards into your hand. Rebuild the City. 3 and a black and a red and a green for a sorcery. Choose target land. Create 3 tokens that are copies of it, except they are 3/3 creatures in addition to their other types, and they have Vigilance and Menace. Hey, we hit the card in the very last pack, and in the very spicy old border. 5 mana legendary artifact creature Golem, Star. Khan, Legacy, Reforged, Power, and Toughness are each equal to the greatest mana value among artifacts you control. At the beginning of your upkeep, add colors for each artifact you control. This mana can't be spent to cast non-artifact spells. Until end of turn, you don't lose this mana as steps and phases end. And an Etched Foil Vesuvian Drifter. Oops. And that is it for this collector's box, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, share, favorite, and subscribe. It lets people know that I exist and I'm opening these packs for mostly my entertainment, but hopefully yours. You can follow me on Twitter. Links are down below. And you can also find us at the Planeswalker Pantheon on Facebook. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you next time.